Hey guys, Scott Harper here with Oklahoma Sports Network with Coach George this Sunday afternoon. Coach, obviously a pretty special situation late in Friday's game against Altus. For those Bear fans that weren't there, talk about how that whole situation unfolded.
We're in the fourth quarter of the game with Altus, and there was a timeout call by Altus, and our kids came over there, and one of Logan Kirby was like, "Coach, I think there's something going on over the coach is trying to line a kid up at wide receiver. I don't think, he's like," I said, "What?" We kind of was trying to see what was going on. And Ray Crawley, my defense coordinator, he kind of walked out there and hollered at our official. And then Dan Kokenauer, the head coach at Altus, said, "Hey, I've got a young man here. I'm going to line up at wide receiver, show him where to get in the game." He's a special needs kid that wanted to get one play on the homecoming night there at Altus, and Dan was going to get it for him. And Ray hollered over at Dan, "Hey, just put him in the backfield and give him the ball. We're going to let him score." And so Dan's like, "All right." They put him in the backfield, and he went off for that 80-yard track. It was really neat to watch, seeing that kid. That was his dream, to get to play a play for Altus Bulldogs on homecoming, and he got to go out with a touchdown. And it was a special night. We received a lot of stuff from the people of Altus about our kids and doing that for them. And it wasn't anything talked about before the game, wasn't planned. It was just something when they called a timeout. We saw Dan doing something, and Ray went out kind of hard. We just kind of said, "Hey, put him up in the running." Ray told him, "Put him in the running back, give him the ball, we'll let him score," and went from there.
Well,
but it was a pretty neat deal. It was special to see a young man's dream come true.
Well, and I think I told Matt and Shane up in the box, the thing that I noticed about it, first and foremost, was that the entire Altus team went to the end zone and congratulated him.
Oh yeah, it was
joining for the celebration, so it was pretty special.
It was a neat deal. I'm happy for that young man.
Well, talk about the performance of your team on Friday night, and what stood out to you.
I think our run game was a little bit better. We were able to get a few more yards rushing. The passing game, I thought, take that first drive away where it seemed like we were but after that, I think, we made some big plays in the passing game. Chili out there made some big plays. He's that prototypical wide receiver, 6'3". He's just a big target, and he can do so much with him out there. And he makes us better when you've got him involved out there with LT and Brandon, and you get all them and Dominic out there and Gabe. He just gives that big target. I thought that looked pretty good throughout the night. Defensively, after that first drive where they kind of got in a couple sets we haven't seen, I thought we, kind of got that ironed out and, figured out how we wanted to cover that back going up the seam, and we figured that one out. And we're getting better. It's getting better as the weeks go on, but we still got a ways to go, and we have to be better this Thursday night.
Sure.
Because Lawton Mac, they've got some big boys on defense. They're big up front. Their D-line probably averages 285, and we got to move them. Anytime we've got two guys blocking one, we have to have movement. If you don't get movement with two men blocking one, there's something wrong. And we've got to get that where that's automatic every time.
Sure. Obviously, being 1-2 in district play, how big is Thursday night's game against Lawton Mac, and what can we expect from the Highlanders whenever they line up on Thursday night?
No, it's a big game. You win this game, you're right there in the driver's seat for maybe even a second place finish or third. If you lose, then you're probably battling for the fourth spot with Ardmore, and that'll probably be that Ardmore game coming up week 9. It'll probably be for the fourth spot. With Duncan beating Ardmore, it opened the door for us a little bit, still have a chance to get in. So, if you win, it's big because you're going to be fighting for maybe that third or second. And if you lose, you probably fight for that fourth spot.
Sure.
It'll be a big game. I know they're probably got us circled. They came to our place last year, and we won big here. And it might be the first time Nobles beat Lawton Mac. If I went back and did my history, and Lawton Mac's always a good program, but it'll be big, and they're going to be a 3-4 on defense with 3 big down linemen, 2 inside backers, 2 outside backers. They're going to play man coverage on the field. They're very skilled. They're athletic. They can run. offensively, they're going to be, their two big plays are the counter and the power play, and they like to throw the ball deep on fade routes, 10-yard outs by the inside, 10-yard outs by outside guys, and they like to run the jet and zone. And they like to run the jet and zone off each other. So, I mean, it'll be, you're going to have to work cut out for you. They're big on the offensive line. But everybody we've played's been bigger than us, so, I mean, that's not going to be, saying anything new. But it'll be a fun night. Anytime, Thursday nights on fall break are usually pretty special. That's when special things happen on that Thursday night. So.
Last question, if you could have dinner with one person, who would it be? And also, what would you want to discuss with that individual?
Probably my dad. Just, not him not being here now. I mean, you just kind of took it for you. I mean, you always do it. People take it for granted. You see people all the time, and then when they're gone, it's, man, you just, it's probably my dad. Just talk about my girls. I mean, he was so, my two girls, I mean, that was his life. And just, about once a month we'd go to his house and he'd grill steak fries, and macaroni and cheese and green beans, and we'd have homemade hot rolls and iced tea, and the girls, whatever they wanted, they got for dessert. And it was just fun to sit around, outside. They got a big old deck outside. We'd sit outside there and just kind of, he'd watch the girls. I mean, sure. If Landry needed someone to rebound, he was rebound. If Hayden needed someone to hand her the basketball, if she wanted to shoot free throws, he was there. And we'd spend 6 hours outside with them doing whatever. But that, I miss that.
Sure.
And that's probably, the one individual I could have another dinner with, it'd be him.
Good. Well, Coach, before we sign off, obviously I want to give a shout out to Caleb Lance. He lost his grandfather last week, and know that our thoughts and prayers are with you, Caleb. Scott Harper with Oklahoma Sports Network, signing off. Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.